We are still on bearings and distances, and the question we are given to solve, we have to calculate the bearing of P from Q and the bearing of Q from P using the Sulfurious method. That is the first part of the question. Then the second part, three figure. That is, this has to do with the compass bearing, or what we call the quadrilateral bearing. So using the north and the south as the reference point, well, we are asked to use three figure method here. That is three figure or three digit. That is, we have to measure from the north using three figure. Now, in my previous video, I have explained what is meant by bearing and distances and what you need to do when you are working on three figure bearing. That is, you take north as a reference point and you move in a clockwise direction. But if you are working on Sulfurious bearing and Sulfurious method, which is also known as the compass or quadrilateral bearing, so you are going to take the north and the south as the reference point. Now, in this question we are given here, we are given this diagram and we want to determine the bearing of P from Q and also Q from P. Now, there are four cardinal points. So Yoruba used to say something, Origun mẹ́rin ni ayé ní. So this edge, there are four cardinal points. So we have the north, we have the north here, then we have the east, we have the south, then we have the west. So between each, that is the north and the east, we have 90 degrees. Between east and south, or south and east, we have 90 degrees. South and west, 90. North west, we also have 90, which make up to be 360 degrees. That is, here we have 0 degree to 90 degree, 90 to 180 degrees, 180 degrees to 270 degrees, 270 degrees back to where we started, 360 degrees. Now, here we are giving 100, that is, from the north of P to the line that join Q and P together. Now, to measure the bearing using the Sulfurious method, so we are going to indicate the cardinal points. We need to indicate the four cardinal points. The north is indicated there. Then we need to indicate the east, the west, and the south. Here we are giving north N1. Then here there will be S1. Then there will be E1 and there will be W1. So coming to this, we are using this one for the first part of the question. So we are using this for the first part of the question. Now, we have from here to here, we have 100. So that is, moving from here to here, we have 100 degrees. From here to here, we have 110 degrees rather, because we are giving 110 degrees there. Then we have P, then we have Q. Now, before that, let's indicate the north, and we have the north already, N1, N2. Then we have the north, then here we have S1, the south. Then we have W1, the west. Then we have the E1. This will be the east. Now, coming to this one too, we have S2. Here there will be E2 and there will be W2. Just to differentiate between these two positions that we have. Here we have P and here we have Q. Now, from this diagram that we are having here, we want to describe the direction of, or the bearing of P from Q. That is, bearing of P from this Q using the Sulfurious method. Now, the Sulfurious method will use the cardinal point. So we have the north, then the north and the south will now be the reference point. We have the north, south, west, and east as the cardinal points. Now, this angle here, we have 110 degrees. From here to here is 110. Then this angle at corner is said to be 90 degrees. We have this angle to be 90 degrees. This small portion here of the angle here. So to get this, addition of 90 and this angle will give us 110. Therefore, to get this angle here, we are going to take away 90 from 110. When you take away 90 from 110, you are going to have the angle here, this small angle here. So the angle here equals to 110 minus 90 degrees. That is, from here, this line to this line, we have 110 from here to here. Then take away 90 from there, you will get 20 degrees. So therefore, this angle here is said to be 20 degrees. 20 plus 90 will give us 110. Now, here, this line and this line, they are parallel. This angle here and this angle are alternate angles. So, or we can let's determine this angle here, because we need this angle. So the angle we want to determine here is this angle, because we have to measure the bearing of P from Q. Has to be from the north, because using the Sulfurious method, we take north, either north or the south as the reference point. But here we are going to take north as the reference point. So we have to measure the angle from the north to the line that connect P and Q together. Now, we have this angle to be 20 degrees. When you take away the sum of angles on the straight line is 180 degrees. That is this angle to this angle 110. Then this angle, let's represent it using letter B. So B plus 110 will give us 180. B plus 110 equals 180 degrees. So when you take away 110 from 180, you are going to have B. So therefore B equals to 70 degrees. So this angle here is said to be 70 degrees. Then we have this angle to be 70 degrees. So this angle is said to be 70 degrees. So therefore, we are going to measure from the north because we are using Sophia method. When you measure the angle from the north, we have 70 degrees to west now. So northwest, we have 70 degrees northwest. So that is the answer to the first part using the Sophia method. So using Sophia method, we have the bearing of P. So using Sophia method, the bearing of P, so the bearing of P from Q using Sophia method is said to be 70 degrees. Then we have northwest. So northwest, 70 degrees. Then we have northwest. So that is the bearing of, so P from Q, 70 degrees northwest. Now, to determine the bearing of P from Q using the 3 digits. So we are going to measure the angle from the position of Q, from the north of Q to the line that connects P and Q together. That is, we need to measure the angle from here to this line that connects P and Q together. So that's what we need to measure. So from the north of Q in a clockwise direction to the line, because we want to determine the bearing of P from Q, we measure the angle in a clockwise direction from the north to the line that connects the two points together, which is this line. So this north, that means to get the angle from here to here, we are going to take away 70 from 360. So when you take away 70 from 360, you are going to have 290 degrees. So this is using the Sophia method. We have 70 degrees northwest. But using the 3-figure method now, so 3-figure method, the answer will be, so the bearing of P from Q is, we are using 3-figure, which is true bearing now, is 290 degrees. 290 degrees is the same thing as 70 degrees northwest. That is to describe the position of P from Q. So we have 70 degrees northwest or 290 degrees. So 290 degrees, that is true bearing. When you measure the angle from the north of Q to the line that connects P and Q together. Now, the second part, we want to determine, that is bearing of P from Q. P from Q. Now, we want to determine the bearing of the second part of the question, the bearing of Q from P now. Q from P. Now, when you look at this question that we are giving here, so the bearing of Q from this P. So you can see the angle measured here from this diagram we are giving from the north of P to the line that connect Q together. Using the true bearing, we have 110. But using the compass bearing, so we have, so now this angle here, we have determined this angle to be 70 degrees. That will be 70 degrees. We have south. Don't forget in Sophia method here, that is compass bearing. So, or we call quadrantal bearing. We are going to take either north or the south as the reference point. But here we are going to take south because the angle is in the south. That is Q from P. So that is the second question. Q from P. We are from the south of P. So to east now. That is the angle. So we are using there. Because the line that connect P and Q together. So the angle there from the south of P to the line that connect P and Q together is 70. That will be southeast. So equals to 70 degrees, then we have southeast. Or, so B, using the 3-figure method. So the bearing of Q from P using 3-figure method is 110. From the north of P to the line that connect Q and P together is said to be 110. We have 110 degrees. So that is the answer to the question we are giving. So we are giving question either using Sophia method on bearing or using 3-figure or through bearing, then this is how to go about it. Please like, comment and share. If you have any questions, you can drop your question in the comment section. Thank you.